So as you know, I'm not really a big fan of grammar. I think it slows down your fluency, and I'm not the only one. Research shows that focusing too much on grammar can send your brain into a whirl of confusion. But sometimes you just want to know how something works. Here goes.
The past perfect tense shows that something was completed at some point in the past, but before something else happened. So to use the past perfect then, you need to use to have plus the past participle of the verb. Okay, so the past participle of the verb is that third column. So in the terms of an irregular verb, it would be eat, ate, eaten. I have just eaten, thank you. I have already eaten, thank you. So you use the perfect tense if you're talking about something that happened at a specific point of time in the past. It's finished, it's done with, it's dusted. But it was at a specific point in time in the past. So you might want to say something like, he had never had an English interview until today. So today might not sound like the past, but today might have been this morning at 8 o'clock. So for clarification then, the action that happened at a specific time in the past was the English interview. That was the action.
Also, auf Deutsch, es drückt aus, was zu einem vergangenen Zeitpunkt bereits geschehen war.
So in terms of cause and effect then, if you were in a traffic accident or a traffic jam, there would have been an accident. I was in a traffic jam. There had been an accident. At the time when I was there was an accident. The action finished before a different action in the past. So for example, I had already taught English in the UK and Finland before I started teaching here in Germany.
When we got to the station, the train had already left. So als wir zum Bahnhof kamen, war der Zug bereits abgefahren.
And similarly, something that started in the past and continued up until a very specific point of time in the past would also be a past perfect situation.
I had been working in financial services marketing in London for almost 10 years before starting my own business. So, mit der Verlaufsform had been plus ing betont man, dass ein Vorgang über längere Zeit angedauert hat oder hatte.
So this is how I help my students remember it.
So, if what you're talking about happened in the past and it's not important when it was, then think have or has, haven't or hasn't. The perfect tense is perfect for talking about those situations. And that's why we hear the perfect tense a lot in the world of work and career or business. So when we're talking about status reports, updates and reviews, we often talk about I have done this, we have done that, we haven't done this yet, and so on. So in this case then, you're talking about I have been to see our clients in Rome. So it's an experience, ein Erlebnis. It doesn't matter when, it just matters that you did it. And here you can see we're already using one of the trigger words which I'm going to come to shortly. I have already been to see our clients in Rome. So the trigger word is already. Dun, dun, dun.
So, you know what? It's really easy. You just have to remember these trigger words. There are 8 to remember. Are you ready? Already. This is a word you will find either between the subject and the verb, so I have already been to work today, or right at the end of the sentence. Yet. This is one that you'll find at the end of the sentence. I haven't been to work yet. I haven't taught them yet. Just is another trigger word. the third of 8. I have just been to the library. Still, I have still got your book here. Should I give it you back tomorrow? And here's a double one, because doubles are easier to remember, honey. So ever and never are used with the perfect tense. I never ever want to see you using it with the simple tense. So, have you ever been to Rome? No, I haven't. Really? You've never been to Rome? That's incredible. And those of you that work with me will know that I've got a real thing about for and since. For talks about Zeitraum, and since, imagine the dot, is a Zeitpunkt. Okay, so both of these are used with the perfect tense. And last but not least is the word lately, or the phrase so far, until now, or up to now. So it means not yet. Okay, so lately I have been reading lots of novels. So far I've only got up to page 6 because I keep getting distracted.
So let's compare the past simple and the past perfect. I have been to Rome. It doesn't matter when, it just matters that I have been to Rome. Perfect. Here, I tell you exactly when I did it. So that'll have to be simple past because it's finished, it's done and dusted. I went to Rome last year on my Vespa. So if you make a mistake with one of these tenses, it won't be the end of the world, but there might be a misunderstanding. So if you want to communicate clearly, you have to make a choice. Are you going to use the perfect with have and had, or are you going to tell me when it was and use the simple past, but not both?